Hi, hello, welcome. My name's Randy and I love everything crochet. And if you love everything crochet, then you should definitely hang around by subscribing to my channel and going into the description down below and following my Instagram. But let's go ahead and get started with looking at what we're making today. Today we're making this fun, like very spring appropriate because I am just ready for spring. I'm ready. I'm over winter. We've gotten so much snow this year and I love snow, but not to this extent. So I am just ready for spring. So I thought what's better than to go ahead and make a spring friend. This is like kind of like a baseline strawberry duck slash chick if you prefer pattern. He's got his little stem, the leaves, and he's pink, very cute. This is definitely gonna be like a baseline because you could add feet and legs. You could add white like seeds to it. You can make this red. You can make him pink. You can make him purple, blue, whatever color you want. This is what I made mine. But yes, so this is definitely going to be like a perfect project to just get an idea of what I did so you can make it your own, which is why I love crochet, because you can find something that you like and make it your own and make it unique and special. But yes, this is not a like beginner pattern, but I would say it's kind of like, you know, you have some experience making crochet plushies. You could definitely follow this, but I wouldn't say this is the first thing I've ever made project friendly. So I'm trying to preface that because I do know that I've had some people comment in the past that they try and make it as their first project. This is definitely not a first or second project crochet piece. But with all that being said, with all the start, let's go ahead and get started on how to make it. For my project, I'm going to use Premier Little Bunny yarn. This is in the color Bubblegum. I love this like bright pink shade. And for it, I'm going to be using a 5mm hook, and we'll also need a stitch marker. For this start, you can either do a magic ring, or if you're like me and cannot do a magic ring for the life of you, we'll do a starting chain of 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we'll go into our first stitch and then pull our yarn through. Well, if I go through the first stitch, pull our yarn through to make a circle. Now we'll go into the hole and we'll be doing single crochet stitches for this entire project. We're just going to mark our first stitch and we are going to do 8 stitches. I need to mark it better, but we'll do 8 stitches into that center loop in here. So we have our first stitch and then we'll go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And now we're going to go back into our first stitch from our last round. I normally leave my stitch marker and wait till I go in there and pull through. Mark our new first stitch, and then we're going to put 2 stitches in every stitch. This is a way I'll phrase it throughout the video when we're increasing, of putting 2 stitches into a stitch means you go into the stitch, then you go back into it for a second time. So we're going to do that all the way around, so you should have 16 stitches total. Once you've put 2 stitches in every stitch, we'll go back into our first one, pull our yarn through, mark it, and we'll put 2 stitches into our first, and then a single stitch, then 2 stitches into the next, then a single stitch, which by single stitch I mean you just go in once, And that's it. And 2 stitches into 1 is like that. And then a single, repeating that pattern all the way around. And how you can know if you are someone who likes to count your stitches, every round should increase by 8 stitches every time. The next round, put 2 stitches in the first, then 1, 2 single stitches, then 2 stitches into the next, then 2 single stitches, repeating all the way around. The next round, put 2 stitches into the first, then 1, 2, 3 single stitches, then 2 stitches in the next, then 3 single stitches, repeating all the way around. The next round, put 2 stitches in the first, then 4 single stitches, then 2 stitches in the next, then 4 single stitches, repeating all the way around. The last round of increasing, we're going to put 2 stitches in the first, then 5 single stitches, then 2 stitches in the next, then 5 single stitches, repeating all the way around. So that was the last round of expanding. So this round we're just going to put a single stitch in every stitch, which should build it out this way, and I will go around and let you know how many rounds I do. So just put a single stitch in every stitch, repeating all the way around for this amount of rounds. I did 20 rounds of staying the same. So this is about how tall our strawberry duck currently is. I wanted a nice flat bottom, and then we're going to kind of slowly do like a rounded shape at the top. It's not going to be perfectly strawberry shaped, but it's going to be more like duck shaped. So that's the vision of right now. And basically we're going to start reducing. So I'm going to weave into my first stitch, then weave into my second, and pull through, making them 1 stitch. So I'm doing the opposite of what I did before. Instead of putting 2 stitches into a single stitch, I'm going to reduce 2 stitches into a single stitch. And then I'm just going to do 5 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, oops, don't lose my yarn, 4, and 5, and then I'm going to once again do the opposite. So I'm going to reduce 2 stitches into 1 by weaving a single loop through both stitches, then pulling through, creating 1 single stitch. And then 5 single stitches, reduce 2 stitches into 1, repeating all the way around. For the next round, we're going to put a single stitch in every stitch all the way around. That way we don't drastically end it. I do want it to kind of gradually end, so a single stitch in every stitch all the way around. The next round we'll reduce 2 stitches into 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 single stitches, reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 4 single, repeating all the way around. For the next round, put a single stitch in every stitch, repeating all the way around. Reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 3 single stitches, then reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 3 single stitches, repeating all the way around. The next round, we're going to reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 1, 2, then reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 1, 2. Yes, at this point, I'm skipping the staying the same. I am just going down, continuing reducing at this point to try and curve out a little more. I went ahead and added eyes. I do think these eyes are too big, but this is the size I had. These are 18mm eyes, and I went ahead and stuffed the majority of it. Now I'm going to do the same thing I did last round, where I put reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 2 single stitches, reduce 2 stitches in 1, then 2 single stitches, repeating all the way around. This is the last round we're going to do this, but we're going to reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 1, 2 single stitches, then reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 1, 2 single stitches, repeating all the way around. This next round we're going to reduce 2 stitches into 1, then a single stitch, reduce 2 stitches into 1, then a single stitch, repeating all the way around. And this is the end of my first skein of yarn. So close to making it all the way without adding a new, but I'm adding my second skein of the same yarn. And I cut my yarn. I'm going to seal the top. I like to weave out and then back in, then out, then back in, all of the very top stitches, and then pull it tight. So that's what I'll be doing. You can seal it however you prefer, but that's what we're doing now. For the beak, I did a starting chain of 6, which will fit nicely between the eyes. You can adjust this based on how far apart your eyes are. this is what fits for mine. I did 4 rows of 5 single stitches, and now I'm just going to fold this in half because I'm just making a small little beak, and I'm going to weave my yarn on this side and this side so it's a single piece like this, and then we'll attach it. The beak is added. I actually really like this. This is slightly different than I had planned, but I love this bright orange with this pink color as well. Super cute. We just have the wings, the little strawberry leaves, and the feet left. I have not decided how I want to do the feet, so those will be last. The wings and strawberry leaves will be next. For the wings, we're going to do something very similar. So you're going to want to have it where you can sew these like that. But I did a starting chain of 6 again because I kind of want it to be like a little tiny wing. You can definitely change these up. I did a starting chain of 6 and then 8 rows, and then I'm just going to fold, stitch up the sides. But yeah, I just wanted little tiny wings. So if you want something different, you can definitely use your own creativity to switch it up. But I just wanted 2 little wings for it. Now for the leaves, this is typically where I get myself in a little bit of trouble because I just kind of go with the flow with these things. So if you rather, I recommend doing it your own way, but this is personally how I did it, just so it's done. But I did a starting chain of 4, so I have 2, 3, and 4, and then I'm going to do a row of single crochet 3 stitches, so 2, 3, so basically you skip the first stitch, go into the next 3, and then I'm going to do 1 more row of 3, so 1, this is probably going to be my longest clip too because it's just going to be continuous. And then we're going to flip our work again, and this round or row, going to do 1, 2, 3, and instead of flipping our work, we're going to put a 4th stitch into the end because we're going to make it wider. So this time we're going to flip our work and do the same on this row. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I know it's also hard to see because this is fluffy yarn. And then go into that last one a second time, so 2 stitches into 1 at the end. So we have 5, and this is the last row we're going to do that. So 1, 2, I'm making my stitches a little too tight. 3, 4. Yeah, I made my stitches a wee bit too tight. 5, and then go back into that same one for 6. And then we're just going to do a single stitch in every stitch. So you should have 6 stitches, and we're going to do this for 2 to 3 rows depending on how long you want your leaves to be. I am personally going to do 3. So this is row 1, and I'm going to then, once I did my stitches way too tight, I'm going to do 2 more after that. And after your rows of 6, we're basically now going to do the opposite. So we're going, instead of expanding out, we're going to reduce. So go into the first stitch, go into the second stitch, reduce into 1 stitch, and then we'll only have 5 stitches in total. So 2, 3, 4, and 5. Oops. There we go. Then we'll flip our work again and go into our first stitch and our second stitch, reduce into 1, then 2, 3, and 4. Then flip our work, reduce our stitches again, so take 2 stitches, turn them into 1, then 1, 2, 3 total, and then do it 2 more times. So go into the first one, the second one, pull through for 1 loop, then stitch 2, and then lastly stitch into 1. And then I brought my scissors up here. Going to snip that, pull our yarn through, and we have a leaf. And I already made 2 others. So on our little strawberry here, strawberry head, going to kind of have them laid out. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the end pieces to attach them all into one spot here. And then I'm just going to use these to secure it by weaving it and then weaving it all together here. And my personal last step, but you can definitely add legs and feet. I decided that I'm not going to. I don't love making kind of like the 3-prong feet. I haven't perfected it. So I don't want to lie to you guys making it seem like I know what I'm doing, because I don't. So I'm just not going to do it. But I definitely accept all creativity for people who do want to do that. So I'm going to do a starting chain of 6 for the stem, because I don't like to make it too tall, because sometimes that makes it like flop over. We want it to stick up. So then we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, come on, yarn. 4, and I can't get into the 5th one. I was talking. Hold on. When I talk, I sometimes pull my yarn way too tight. So there we go. 5. All right. And I know I added like an extra stitch, but I did want the, wait, no, I did a starting chain of 6. Never mind. I'm saying crazy stuff right now. And we're just going to do 4 rows in total of this. If you want your stem to be a little thicker, you can add more rows, but I'm just going to do 4 rows in total, including that last one. So this is row 2. Then I'll do 3 and 4, all of 5 stitches for the stem, because I want mine just small. And I really like to do even rows for stuff like this, because I like having my 2 like opposite ends for string. I just prefer that, because then when we weave, we fold this in half and weave our edges together, both pieces will be in the same spot. That's just a personal preference. I know everyone's a little different, but personally, that's what I like to do. As I get my yarn in here, we'll weave our edges together. So basically for this, just fold it in half, go into the center. That's what I like to do. And then we just go back and forth, back and forth, all the way. Oops, got one more to do. And then, like I said, you have your 2 tails down here. I like to tie mine off. You have 1 solid piece. And then once I weave in my leaves here, I'll just put this on the center. So we have our little strawberry duck. He's gonna kind of have like hair, which will be cute, but we'll do that. Or it can be a chick if you rather call it a chick. You can do that too. But let me weave it all in, and then we'll see my personal final product. Other things you could do is definitely add little white spots. That would be super cute. I considered that at first, but I would rather use like a chenille yarn. This is my personal recommendation, or a thick acrylic. Honestly, I would probably use a thick acrylic just because the chenille, like acrylic, doesn't have where it like peels off the fluffies at the end. That would probably be annoying when weaving pieces through, and I only have really, really thin white acrylic, so it would just get lost in here. If I had a nice thick one, oh, that would be really cute. Highly recommend doing that. Same with feet, like I said, but I don't have that right now. And this was kind of like, I have these yarns, so I want to use them. But let me go ahead and weave all these in, and then we'll come back with our finished product. And once everything is attached, you have your little strawberry ducky or a chick, whichever you prefer. I ended up stitching everything off to the side a little bit, but I think it makes him look super cute. Like I said, he has no feet, but that's okay. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I would love to see if you made one. You should go tag me in your photo on Instagram or send it to me in a DM. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Bye!